People keep asking, which park is better, Disneyland or Disney World? And that's the wrong question. If you plan Disney based off of which park wins, you might just ruin your own vacation. Every video online wants to tell you which park is better, but I don't care about that. What I care about is what's the right move for you and your family. So if you're trying to decide between Disneyland or Disney World for your next trip, this video isn't about which park wins. It's about what actually matters for you. And if it's your first time trying to plan a Disney park trip, you might be thinking, aren't they the same thing, just in two different locations? And no, they're not. But they do have similarities, but their differences set them apart and can shape your Disney park experience. And that question alone would have a hardcore Disneylander shoving a churro into an IV just to recover. There are special reasons to visit each one of these parks, and their differences set them apart in a way that only Disney could pull off. They don't have to rely on everything being the same under their brand. They make them feel individual instead of grouped. And that's why people fight over which park is better. But dads know, you can't pick a favorite kid. You might be able to say which one's funnier, tougher, more dramatic, more athletic, but they're loved equally. And that's how these parks should be viewed. And if you're asking which one of these parks has Harry Potter World in it, brother, you're lost. You're lost. That's in Universal. Bob Ross wouldn't even paint these two parks together. I don't care how happy the trees are. Disneyland is split up into two parks, Disneyland Park and Disney's California Adventure Park. Disneyland is Walt's original vision, and it's unique in that way. You can feel his presence in these parks. It's like it's magically trapped in time, but constantly moving forward. Disneyland is small, cozy, charming, sincere, and it's the original version of the Disney parks. Everything in Disneyland feels like it was touched by an artist, a true artist, someone who does it for the love of the game, not for a corporation. And the rides there are the originals, such as Pirates and Haunted Mansion. Everything you've ridden after that, this is the source code. The OGs, baby. And aside from the two parks in Disneyland, they also have 3 on-property hotels and tons of hotels that surround the area for a cheaper stay and within walking distance of these parks. You don't need a bus schedule to do Disneyland. You just need legs, or a wheelchair, or an electric scooter. I don't want anyone to feel not included. Disney World, on the other hand, is still Walt's vision, but with a big old scoop of creativity. Disney World is massive, and it's split up into 4 separate parks: Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, Animal Kingdom, and Epcot, along with a massive selection of hotels, good neighbor hotels, transportation, and atmosphere. The charm that Disneyland has, being the original of the parks, doesn't necessarily trump the bigger production value of Disney World. Disneyland feels like it was the Broadway play. Disney World feels like it was the movie adaptation. It still very much has the feeling of Walt, but it's another atmosphere, like a different world. However, that bus schedule we talked about not needing for Disneyland, yeah, you're going to need that here. And for a boat. And for the Skyliner. Disneyland is significantly the smaller of the Disney parks. With its 2 parks and 3 on-property hotels, it spans approximately 500 acres. Disney World, on the other hand, with its 4 parks, transportation, and massive amount of hotels, spans approximately 30,000 acres. That's almost double the size of Manhattan. Even the castle size is a massive conversation point amongst Disney enthusiasts. Yes, the Disneyland castle is way smaller. Yeah, it's small. Oh, it's so tiny. It's small. Why is it always about the size? Like, if it still performs well, does that even matter? Oh, God. We're talking about castles. Anyways, now the size of these 2 parks does matter, because that's how you're going to judge what works better for your vacation days. Disneyland is smaller, and to get the full experience, you can do it in 2 days. 3 days if you really want to seal it in. Disney World, you need about 5 if you want to breathe. Not everybody has unlimited PTO or patience. However, this doesn't mean if you only have 3 days that you should only do Disneyland. You could absolutely do a park hopper option with Disney World and see mostly what you want to see in 3 days. But for the full experience of these Disney parks, Disneyland is like a weekend getaway Disney World, that's a vacation commitment. Now, both of these parks do have some similarities, such as walking down Main Street with the castle in view and all the shopping around you, to some of the same iconic themed lands and some of the same rides, although these can vary slightly to altogether all the way different. And they have that same signature Disney magic, baby. And they both have Galaxy's Edge. So if you're a Star Wars fan, relax. You don't have to worry about picking the wrong park.
Strong with the Force, they both are.
However, both of these Disney parks also pack a completely different Disney experience. They both have their appeal, but they also both offer something the other does not, such as certain rides, dining experience, character interaction, and even down to their themed land. Disneyland has Blue Bayou Restaurant. That's the restaurant that you see at the beginning of the Pirates ride. It's got theming, it's immersive, romantic lighting, and it makes you feel like you're actually a part of the ride. Watching the riders go by and you're waving at each other, that's an experience in itself. Disneyland is also known for its snacks, such as its churros and its Dole Whip. You have this in Disney World as well, but it's known in Disneyland for a reason. Disneyland also has its own unique themed areas, for now, such as Cars Land, Avengers Campus, and Toontown. And they also have the original versions of beloved classic Disney rides that have been replicated across the globe in every other Disney park. And they also have rides that are unique to Disneyland itself, such as Indiana Jones, Radiator Springs, and Spider-Man's Web Slingers. And for all you unhinged little gremlins out there like me, they have Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. This might be my favorite Disney attraction of all time. Let me take you on this journey. You're a toad, drunk driving, crashing through mansions and terrorizing a town with your reckless driving, only to crash into a bar, get more beer, and continue your reckless driving until you're arrested. Then you see the judge, who sends you to jail. You drive and bust out of the jail, only to get hit by a train where you die. And then you go to hell. I'm talking hell. You're actually transported down into a hell-like landscape where you meet Satan, who ironically is the judge that sent you to jail. It is top tier, and it's actually hot down there. You feel it when you enter hell. It's weird and crazy in the best way. And if you didn't think that you could have that kind of experience in Disneyland, like I thought, you absolutely can. It's my favorite attraction to take new Disney goers, because they all come out the same way, going, "What the f-?" It's the best Disney experience I can give you. It's just weird and fun, and altogether it doesn't match the vibe of Disneyland at all, which makes it a standout and a must-do. Disney, don't touch Mr. Toad or we riot.
Don't touch Mr. Toad!
We talked about the original rides like Pirates, which in Disneyland is longer and also has two separate drops. Haunted Mansion, different scenes, and also their stretching room has an elevator that actually lowers you down a floor. And their Tower of Terror has been rethemed to Guardians of the Galaxy, and it's extremely fun. It's a rock and roll thrill ride with more ups and downs, and it's actually refreshing to ride this one. And since this park is smaller, Disneyland has a lot more character interactions. It's easier for the characters to kind of get out and walk around and be seen and get out of there quicker than it would be for Disney World. Yes, you can still see characters in Disney World, but in Disneyland, you can pretty much guarantee that seeing characters is going to be a part of your experience. Disneyland's size also makes it easier for Lightning Lane Multipass. If you're scheduling tons of rides within a day, since it is a smaller footprint, you can get more done with Lightning Lane Multipass. There is the argument of, is it necessary to buy it? And in Disneyland, it's a stronger argument that you may not need it. However, if you have it, it's going to make seeing all the attractions all the easier. And along with it being small as an advantage, park hopping is extremely easy in Disneyland. Each park is a walking distance away from each other, making park hopping extremely easy and also operating Lightning Lane Multipass. You have one here, you have one there, you can get there in a matter of steps. And it's extremely easy to navigate, making the park hopper option for Disneyland optimal. Disney World, being as large as it is, also holds a massive advantage to immersion. When you're in Walt Disney World Resort, you're in what we call the Disney bubble. It's like living under a dome where the real world doesn't even exist anymore. It's Disney's own personal city, with means of travel by land, by water, and by sky. That's buses, boats, and Skyliner. This park still holds true to Walt's vision also. Honestly, this feels like he blew this bubble himself, chewing a stick of Mickey gum, and somehow it floated all the way to Florida. Everything around you is Disney magic. This bubble contains 4 Disney parks, massive amounts of hotels, water parks, sports and golf courses, and shopping. In this bubble, you really leave all your worries behind. It no longer feels like a vacation in Florida. It's a complete Disney World. Disney World has unique dining experiences that are only offered in this park as well. You have Space 220, Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater, and eating inside of their castle at Cinderella's Royal Table. It has lands and attractions that are also unique to Disney World, such as Animal Kingdom, a place where the animals can roam free and they take you on a wild safari that's National Geographic worthy. They also have Pandora. If you're an Avatar fan, as of right now, this is the only Pandora you can go to. Disneyland is getting their own Pandora, but it's going to be a completely different vibe with different rides. In Disney World, they have Flight of Passage, which is one of my all-time favorite Disney ride experiences. Who doesn't want to ride on the back of a Banshee? They also have Epcot, the World Showcase, where you can try foods and beverages from all over the world in their respective areas. Disney adults know that drinking around the world can be fun, but it can also test your tolerance. Don't take too many tequila shots at the Mexican Pavilion, or you might end up on It's a Small World naked, singing with the dolls, and getting a lifetime ban from Disney. Don't do that. Take it easy on the drinking around the world. If your tolerance is there, have fun. If it's not, stop where you need to. It's also home of the attractions like Spaceship Earth, Figment, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, the only American offered Frozen ride, and their version of the Guardians of Galaxy ride, Cosmic Rewind. And honestly, this ride is amazing. They have an incredible soundtrack that varies between your rides, making this an extremely smooth experience and incredibly fun. Epcot also does seasonal festivals, such as their art festival or their food and wine festival. And these are definitely worth going to check out depending on what time of year you're going and what festival they're holding. Hollywood Studios is another unique land offered in Disney World. They have the Rock and Roller Coaster, which as of now is being transformed into the Muppets ride. And they also have the original version of the Tower of Terror for the Twilight Zone. And they offer an Indiana Jones show. Now this is an experience and a show. It's not the ride. That's in California. Disney World is getting one, but that's in the future. You can see the show for now. But the show is really unique as well. And it's more so a behind the curtain look at how some of these action movies are made, specifically Indiana Jones, with the stunts, the choreography, and all of the yelling cut and action that you could possibly imagine. It makes it feel like you're a part of the production team making an Indiana Jones movie. And as for Magic Kingdom, this is not a copy and paste of Disneyland. This park has its own unique feel, and it also has rides that are unique to its park, such as Tron's Light Cycle Run and its Snow White ride, the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train. Now, park hopping in Disney World can take some work and a little bit of effort, but it's not all that bad. It's actually a chance to get a breather. And when you're in the Disney bubble, park hopping can be kind of fun, depending on the mode of transportation you're taking. The boats and the Skyliner for me, please. Now, when it comes to budget, either park is what you make of it. A full experience at these parks is for sure more expensive in Disney World. Disney World doesn't nickel and dime you. It just asks politely for your entire wallet. You can make these parks comparable if you decide to prioritize certain parks or attractions, and especially with a park hopper option. 3 days in Disneyland might afford you the entire package, but 3 days in Disney World can still be very magical and very affordable. It depends on how you want to spend your money and what you want to prioritize. And I promise you could make this work. Just pick your budget, any number that you can fit in, and make your trip work around that budget. It's very doable, and don't let others tell you that Disney is too expensive, you can't afford it, or that they're pricing families out. It may seem that way from the outside, but you can actually do this, and everything is really expensive. The whole world feels like it's pricing me out at this point. The grocery store feels like it's pricing me out. But Disney can be affordable, and you don't have to be an influencer to enjoy these parks or terrorize it, from what I've been seeing online. Stop it. Now, I told you this wasn't a what park wins or which park is better type of video. I honestly love both of them, and I intend to visit both of them as often as I can, as many times as I can. There isn't a clear winner in my view. It's just what works better for you, your style, your family, and your wallet. And I know I leave you with a vague cliffhanger saying you could choose either park and not be wrong, but it's the truth. There isn't a clear winner. This is your choice, and that's the way that Walt would have wanted it. There's magic in having the freedom of choice. Don't let anyone lock you down with which park is better. That is an opinion, and it's your choice to make. Let me know down in the comments what your favorite Disney park is, and let's not go to war about this. Disney adults, assemble! I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it gives you a real approach to this timeless question, which one should you choose? Not which one is better. I'm not here to turn you into a spreadsheet psychopath. I'm just here to show you that this doesn't have to be so stressful, and that you can pick or choose either way and not be wrong. That you can create magical memories with a sense of calm. Your trip will be awesome no matter what. You don't have to be an expert, know everything, or have a YouTuber trip planner itinerary just to have fun in these parks. And after all this info, if you're still stuck trying to decide, I get it. But there's only two choices here. It's not that complicated, Neo. Red pill, blue pill. And remember, the mouse is watching.